So I'm going to go ahead and share our screen for our main idea warm-up, which is, you guessed it, Flocabulary, getting us ready to go. So go ahead and come back to Zoom. If you're working in Seesaw, go ahead and put that in the background or X out, whichever works better for you. And then you can focus on our video. Main idea. So let's take a look at this reminder again of how to find main idea in fiction and nonfiction.
All right, class, I know you're ready for the weekend. Don't forget about your 5-page paper, and make sure that you express your main idea and back it up.
Listen up, lend me an ear. The hot new thing is the main idea, supported by the details to keep it all clear. The main idea is the reason that we're all here. Yeah, come on, lend me an ear. The hot new thing is the main idea, supported by the details to keep it all clear. The main idea is the reason that we're all here. Have you ever read something and when you got to the end, you didn't get the point? Nope, you didn't understand. Well, let me break it down for the next time you read. There's gonna be 3 basic things you see: the subject, main idea, and the details. Sorta like a city, the house, the people. The subject is the broad thing that it's about. The main idea, what's that now? It's the main thing the writer wants to say. It's the central point. You get it? Okay. You can often find it in the first couple lines, but it could be anywhere, so go find it. It's supported by specific details. The facts in the sentences, be real, they should add up to make the main idea, kids. They form up like cheerleaders in the pyramid. Like I just read an article called Bare Facts, and it talked about how they could be brown or black, polar or grizzly or another type. They're all good hunters and they know how to fight, cause they have big paws so they can catch fish, and big sharp teeth that they eat with. And if they wanna climb a tree to find something to eat, their super sharp claws are all that they need. See? Now let's break it down. I mean, let's dig deeper in the article I found. What's the subject? And what would be the main idea they had there?
The bears are good hunters, that's most important.
And how about the details they had to support it?
They have large teeth, paws, and claws.
And that's how you know hunting is a bear's job. Listen up, lend me an ear. The hot new thing is the main idea, supported by the details to keep it all clear. The main idea is the reason that we're all here. Yeah, come on, lend me an ear. The hot new thing is the main idea, supported by the details to keep it all clear. The main idea is the reason that we're all here. I just read a story about a boy named Ben on the first day of school.
Well, what happened then?
Ben clutched his new backpack and walked in with a big smile when he saw his old friends. Tried to play it cool when he saw his old crush, but when she was close, his mind turned to mush. He liked his art teacher, that class was real fun. Ben was so worked up that he could hardly eat lunch. Now what's the subject?
Ben's first day of school.
And what's the main idea? What's the author wanna prove?
Ben's first day of school was exciting.
Details to back that up, where are they hiding?
When Ben saw his old friends, he was psyched, and he was nervous around the girl that he liked.
He even had a backpack that was brand new. Now I get the main idea, can you?
Love it. I see so many of you enjoying singing along with that. So I want to make sure that we are remembering the difference between a topic or a subject and a main idea. So the subject is Ben's first day of school. That is not specific enough to be a main idea because it doesn't tell us what about his first day of school. His first day of school was terrible. His first day of school was awesome. His first day of school was canceled. We don't know. So that's a subject. That's what the text is about. What it is mostly about was that his first day of school was exciting. Now we have a more specific statement, which we can call a main idea. And we know that it was exciting because the details that we select are all exciting things. Ben saw his old friends. That's exciting. He got nervous, but there was a girl that he liked. That's exciting. Okay, it was something new. He had a brand new backpack. That is exciting. So all of these details support that Ben's first day of school was exciting, okay? So remember, a main idea is going to be very specific. It's not going to be a topic. It's going to have specific information for us to find, okay? We are going to again practice finding the main idea of a nonfiction text. You guys did pretty good with this yesterday, but we still need to work on getting that main idea more specific. We also need to work on describing how things are connected, okay? So for example, I keep hitting stop video when I want to hit share video. So sorry. There we go. I just explained to you how this was all connected. Ben's first day of school was exciting. Well, how do we know? We know that because seeing your old friends is exciting. We know that because when you have someone new that you like, you get an excited feeling in your tummy and in your head. We know that getting brand new things can be fun and exciting. So that's me explaining how these details connect to Ben's first day of school was exciting. Yesterday, a lot of people on their recording recorded the main idea and then recorded themselves reading a detail and then reading the other detail and then reading another detail. I'm not testing if you guys know how to read. I'm testing if you know how they're connected. So when you record yourself, you need to record if the main idea and the details are connected and explain that to me. So that's what we're focusing on today. Specific main ideas and explaining how details are connected. Okay? All right. We are going to go ahead and take a look at a text together today. And this text comes from your, your online textbook. We have not used your online reading textbook yet, but we're going to get a chance to do that today. So in Seesaw, you will have an assignment release that has not been released to you yet because I know how you people work and you try to get ahead. So in your scheduled assignments, you will have an activity that says Main Idea Lesson 8 Task. The lesson was the vocabulary video that we watched, and then there are instructional videos of how to use your online textbook. You're going to do this later during your work time. We're going to read slides 1 and 2 together. We're going to think about what we learned from the text and determine the main idea together. We're going to type that main idea together. 4, 5, 6, and 7 are going to be completed independently. So 4, 5, 6, and 7, you are going to identify details with your highlighter that support the main idea that we choose. You are going to type those details, look here, in your own words. That means you are not copying them from the text, in your own words. And you are going to use the mic to explain how your key details support your main idea. You are not going to read your key details and main idea to me. That does not explain. You're going to explain to me how they are supported. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and unleash this to you on Seesaw. So leave Zoom open. And in the background, I'd like for you to go to Seesaw and I'd like for you to click on this text. I'm going to read it to you, but I want you following along with your eyes. Okay? So all right, we're going to read this text. As I am reading, I want you to listen to me. I'm going to read it to you and I'm going to think out loud. I'm going to think about things that I notice so that I can find the main idea more easily, okay? First thing I'm noticing is the title, Animals, Tools for Survival. So I think this is going to be about animals because I also see pictures of animals, but that's a subject. That's not a main idea. It says for survival, so it might be how they stay alive. But again, that's a subject because I don't know if the animals' tools for survival are helpful. I don't know if they are hurting them. I don't know if they are cool. I don't know if they are the same. I don't know. So I have to be more specific, but I at least have a general idea. So let's take a look at the first paragraph. Animals are classified as mammals, amphibians, birds, fish, and reptiles. Okay, so there's a lot of different kind of animals. Classification is based on shared physical characteristics. For instance, reptiles, such as snakes, are covered with scales. The scales cover the skin and help protect snakes when they are crawling on rough or hot surfaces. All animals have adapted to where they live. Ooh, so maybe it's going to talk about how they survive and where they live. So like snakes live in hot, rough places like deserts with sand. Maybe it's going to tell us about different animals' habitats and how they survive. I'm going to keep reading. They have special body parts that help them survive, such as webbed feet, sharp claws, large beaks, and long tails. Interesting. Look at this first one, webbed feet. Ducks and polar bears, wow, I didn't know they would have something in common, ducks and polar bears, are born with webbed feet. They have skin or webbing stretched between their toes. This webbing allows the feet to paddle the body through the water with ease. It helps animals save energy too. At the top of the next page, webbed feet help different animals in different ways. Polar bears use webbed feet to swim faster. Flying frogs use webbed feet to glide through the air. Wow! So ducks, polar bears, and frogs have the same kind of feet. That's interesting. I'm going to take a moment to stop and think. In the first paragraph, we learned about snakes living in hot, rough places. In this paragraph, we learned about ducks and polar bears living in water and needing to swim. So that's showing me a bunch of different animals and where they live and how they need to survive there. So that's very interesting to me. I'm going to keep reading sharp claws, and I bet when I read sharp claws that it's going to talk to me about why that animal in its living environment needs those sharp claws. So let's take a look at it. Chris, I'm noticing that you're hopping around a couple different programs. I need you to hop on Seesaw for us and get on our text. All right. Sharp claws. A claw is a body part at the end of an animal's toe. Claws are different from nails. I didn't know that. That's interesting. Claws have sharp points. Claws have many uses. Like webbed feet, they help animals move faster. Unlike webbed feet, they also help animals climb and hang in trees. Ooh, so animals that are around different trees. So now we've moved from water to trees. Let's read the captions of the cheetah and the sloth. Cheetah. Adding traction, a cheetah's sharp claws help make it the fastest land animal in the world. Okay, so their claws are able to dig into the ground to help them push. A sloth. Sloth's sharp claws help them hang from tree branches for long periods. Okay, so sure enough, a cheetah needs to run on the ground where it lives. Its nails help it, or its claws help it. A sloth needs to climb trees. Sure enough, its claws help it. So far, we have learned about how ducks and polar bears swim in water with their adaptation, how snakes have scales, which help them live in their environment, and how cheetahs and sloths use their claws to help them where they live. So this is a lot about where animals live and what body parts help them. Let's turn the page. You will notice an X on the article about sharks. That's because that's a new article. We're only finishing this article, which you will see on slide 2, page 8. So turn that page. I'm coming back to my dyno to see if we're all on that page. Terrence is there. Kimberly's there. Genova's there. Camille, you're making a video, and I'm not really sure why, because we're in the middle of a lesson. All right, so let's read this next page. Large beaks. A beak is the hard outer part of a bird's mouth. Some birds, such as herons and pelicans, use their large beaks to catch fish. Others, such as macaws and toucans, use them to reach hard to get food. Wow, this is another body part that animals use to help them. I could read the captions. Macaws use their beaks to crack open nuts and fruit. Toucans can reach and toss fruit with their long beaks. So they need those long beaks to eat the kind of food that they find in their environment. All right, last section, long tails. A long tail helps cats and other animals keep their bodies balanced. It can also work like a rudder on a boat and help them steer. Other animals use their long tails like an extra hand to grab onto things or swat at insects. Some monkeys use their tails to swing in trees. On land, in water, or high up in trees, each animal's adapted body part helps it survive. Hey, look at that last sentence. On land, in water, or high up in trees, that's like all the animals where they live that we read about. Each animal's adapted body part helps it survive. Wow. So that's kind of going to help me with the main idea. So now go ahead and come back to Zoom. Go ahead and come back to Zoom, leave your Seesaw open, come back to me. So thinking about the main idea of this article, we cannot just say it's about animals. That's a topic. We can't say it's about animals' adaptations. That's still a topic, because what about the adaptations? What we learned from this article is that animals' adaptations help them survive. Okay, so in a moment, you are going to identify that main idea. On Seesaw, when you add your response, there is a main idea slide for you, just like yesterday. And I'm going to add the main idea. An animal's adaptations help it survive in its environment. And it's important to note that it's in the environment, because a duck's webbed feet would not help it climb a tree, would it? But ducks don't live in trees, so that's okay. So its environment is where it lives. That was very important. It talked about how cheetahs need to run on the ground, sloths need to climb in the trees, polar bears need to swim in the water. So where it lives was a big part of this text. An animal's adaptations help it survive in its environment. This is the main idea that you are going to type. I am going to upload this so that all of you can see it. It has been published to you, and you can go to see that main idea right there. This has been shared with all of you. I will also type it in the chat. So I'm going to come to you and put it in the chat right here. I'd like for you to take the last 3 minutes to type this main idea on your Seesaw assignment. Okay? All right. Okay, so you have been given a main idea. Your directions are to complete the other steps that are in those instructions for you. So we have done step 1, 2, 3 together. You are doing step 4, which is highlight key details on slides 1 and 2 to support the main idea. So you're going to use the highlighter on these pages, and you're going to record or highlight main ideas. Direction 5, you are going to type 3 key details in your own words. If you are copying the words from the story, I'm going to send this back to you. Okay, because that is not your own word. This has to be in your own words. You have to explain what it means. 6, use the microphone to explain, not read, explain how your key details support your main idea. So you are not going to record yourself reading your main idea and details to me. I can read, people. I need you to explain to me how you know they support each other. And then you will turn in your work. Okay?